Yo, in the mix, episode 35. I got my guy, Actual Dracula, aka Lord Drac. Stick around. Oh, let me press the button. Come on. Let's go. Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy DJ Linx, back in the building, back in effect, and back in the mix. And I'm here to chop it up today with my guy, Actual Dracula. There will be no bars thrown at each other. We are just going to sit down and chop it up like civil human beings that we are. I hope everyone's having a great Friday, a great, safe week. I hope all your dreams came true during the week, except for that finale of Boba Fett, which I didn't see, but I heard it was super trash. I don't know. I'm still going to watch it. But I heard it was super trash. Before we do what it do, as always, we're going to give our props to my guy, Jose Gonzalez from Spidey's Powdered Tumblers for all your custom-made powder-coated stainless steel tumbler needs. And I pat myself on the back for getting through that in one take 3 weeks in a row. That is a new record for your boy. So, congrats to me for getting through that. Of course, we want to say what's up to the entire Linx squad. So boom, slide number 1, Linx squad. Boom, slide number 2, Linx squad. And then, of course, to join, the channel membership is open. Your perks, your welcome package, badges, emojis, early access to vids, behind the scenes, members only lives, monthly Linx box. And I guess let's talk about it, right? So you see this Thanos hot toy right here. This is going to be for the March giveaway. So what we did, we talked amongst ourselves at the last Linx Squad live stream, and we decided to combine February and March into something of a higher price point. So this is going to be the March giveaway, a 1/6 scale Thanos figure by Hot Toys. This is the battle damage version, as seen at the end of Avengers Endgame. He comes with the Nano Gauntlet right before he comes with actually 2 versions, one with the gems in it and then one without the gems, or should I say stones, right? They refer to them as stones. And then, that's the Linx Squad giveaway. With that said, before we go into the chat, I am going to bring out my guy, Actual Dracula. This is my guy, man. Dracula's my dude. I'm Team Drac all the way. What is going on, Actual Dracula?
I'm good, DJ. Thanks for having me on. It's this is the first time it's just me and you, mano y mano, right? So I'm looking forward to it.
I know. I feel weird already. It's like, when you have a bunch of friends.
Let's not make it weird.
No, the plan is to make it weird. But it's like when you have a bunch of friends and you're all chilling.
Yeah.
And then like you get to the spot early, and then one of the other friends gets to the spot early, but then you don't have that bridge of like your other friend is like you're there just talking and like it's super, super awkward. This is what it is.
This is it. You're that's what everyone's about to see, right?
Yeah, the super awkwardness. Before we get into that, let's say what's up to the chat as we always do. Los Crucius, what is up, homie? How you doing? Mrs. Linx, looking all foxy, even though I can't see you because you literally told me I'm leaving when I was going live. Switch Comics, what is going on, Marco? How you doing? Darwin, Linx Squad, what is up, homie? Paul, Sector 2815. I was on his channel on Wednesday, so if you haven't seen that, great conversation between Paul and I. Go check that out on his channel. Give him a sub while you're at it. Mr. Nick's Kicks and Comics. This guy is a saint. We give him a lot of shit. Nick is a saint. I just want to throw that out there. And timestamp that, sir, so that you can play that on your tombstone. Put some sort of video message screen in your tombstone and just have that on loop. Gary B, what is up, man? How you doing? I was on Gary B's channel last week. Had a great time in the hot seat. My ass is still burning because that seat was pretty hot. Titus Chase, what is going on? Linx Squad member, how you doing, sir? Unruly Simeon, what is going on, man? That monkey from Family Guy is the shit, man. Aggressively, what is up? Aggressively relaxing, aka Mr. Fisk. Wesley's commenting. Hey, what is going on? Thank you for being here. Chep, thank you for being here. Flo Dameron, thank you for being here, sir. Greatly appreciated. So, Actual Dracula.
Yes.
Who are your top 5 serial killers?
Oh wow! I mean, Where do you start? Really?
We're gonna start
Yeah.
you off with a bang.
I can't say I have a top 5. That makes it sound like it's a good thing, you know. But I will say I did just listen to a like 6-hour podcast on Jeffrey Dahmer, and that's always a fascinating story. Tragic, but that guy, yeah, that guy had some issues. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, he had some
Yeah.
issues. I'm currently watching on I don't know, do you guys have the ID channel in Canada?
I don't think I don't know what the ID channel is. No.
So the ID channel is an offshoot of the Discovery Channel. So it's
Mm-hmm.
Investigation Discovery, and it's all about true crime stuff. So it's like all it's basically the same exact show in hour blocks with different like names. So it's just like the wife kills the husband. Then the next show is like husband kills the wife. Then the next show, kids kill the parents. It's literally like all the same shit. So I'm watching one that's called The Invisible Killer, and it's about, instead of being about a serial killer, it's about 5 different serial killers, and it like tracks like their steps, their differences, and how one of them impacted the other. So it's like John Wayne Gacy, Gary Ridgway, what's his name, BTK.
Yeah, I just lost you for a second.
Oh,
Was
you're
that gone?
good. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought I lost my connection. Anyways,
No.
BTK. Yeah.
Yeah. So BTK, Jeffrey Dahmer, and then somebody else. But it's real interesting. I've always been fascinated by that.
Yeah, same here. I mean, it's morbid, but you know, I've always been interested in um you know, weird macabre stuff, I guess. I remember when I was a kid I was really into like ghosts and horror stuff, even though like I hadn't like wasn't even old enough to have watched horror movies. I remember seeing pictures, like I remember going through my like cousins like Fangoria magazines and seeing like pictures of Freddy and Jason, and I was just like, I don't know what this is, but it looks amazing. And I used to draw Freddy and Jason from memory, just from like pictures I had seen, but not actually having seen the movies yet. And so when I finally did get to see them, I was like, oh yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, similar story with me. I went to stay over my uncle's house one time, and in his house he had a poster. I think it's a Rolling Stone cover. So it was Freddy, Jason, Leatherface, and I think Michael Myers. But I'm not sure who the 4th person was. I think it was Michael Myers. And I didn't know who these people were because I wasn't privy to horror movies. Like, not for nothing. When I was little, I was a little bitch. Like they would watch horror movies in the living room, and I would stay in the kitchen, like whatever, play with my toys or whatever the case was. But like seeing that poster on the wall, I was just like, yo, this is super, super cool. So I fell in love with, I don't like, to this day, I still don't like horror movies per se. Like I'll watch them, but it's not my preferred genre. But I love creature design. So I love Freddy Krueger with Slice.
Yeah. I could see that. Yeah. I mean, even like those movies, like I liked them when I was younger, and now it's just like I don't even really go back and rewatch those, like all the slasher movies. Like they don't really do anything for me. You know, my favorite horror movies are like The Shining and The Exorcist, and more paranormal and psychological stuff. But
I can't get down with the paranormal stuff. Like stuff that's like paranormal ghost things. I can't get down with that. I think it's, and maybe I'm wrong. I'm just jaded because, like, you know, Mrs. Linx, hi, I'm not talking about you. She'll always be like, oh, let's watch this possession movie. I'm like, it's the same movie over and over.
Yeah, that you're not wrong. A lot of them are just rehashing the same things.
Yeah, and then ever since I saw the Exorcist, I can't look at a crucifix the same.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, the power of Christ did compel me.
Compels you, yeah.
Speaking of the power of Christ, you're a carpenter.
Yeah, I am. I'm a woodworker, full-time cabinet maker. which I've been doing probably about 10 years now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like I never grew up like doing any of that stuff, like I didn't really have any interest in that, like a lot of woodworkers grew up, in like their
Mhm.
fathers or their grandfathers wood shop and they learned how to use tools. I never had any of that, just like a shop class in, school or whatever. But I don't know, when I was like 30, I was like, I gotta do something else, and I decided to take a woodworking course and and I loved it immediately. And so yeah, just kind of it was one of those things I just kind of stumbled into and ended up building, a career out of it, a trade, right? Building
So
uh
it's safe to say you stumbled into the wood and you loved the wood. You fell in love with the wood.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Now like what I especially loved was because when I first got into it, like when I was going into school for woodworking, it was like a real traditional woodworking class in that we were building furniture pieces out of, solid wood.
Mhm.
And for my final project, I actually built myself a roll top desk, uh, all solid wood. But what I've been doing as a job for the past 10 years or so is more just like custom millwork and cabinetry. So not so much working with solid wood, which I love to do, but it's this is what pays the bills, right? Is building people kitchens,
Of course.
doing whole homes. We do commercial stuff as well. Yeah. So
Of
and I do all the building, So
No, that's amazing. When in high school, I went to a vocational high school, and you either took carpentry, HVAC, electric, and there was another one. I totally forgot what the other one was, but I got my like high school diploma in carpentry, and I
mhm.
had an opportunity to go from because the high school was partnered with like the union or whatever, and I had an opportunity to go straight into the union. But I had to go for like more schooling. But I was gonna have a kid. Mrs. Linx was pregnant at my high school prom, and I had to get my ass to work. Switch brings up an interesting comment here. Wait, I'm gonna read it in his voice. Wait, Drac is 40. He looks so young. How do you stay looking so young and fresh, sir?
Drinking human blood. I I don't know. That's
You, the champ. The
is
champ is
that the
here.
secret? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I think it's just to try not to stress out too much. Um, maybe I should be stressing out more, but yeah, I don't know. Staying out of the sun, another vampire trick. That's one right there.
Yeah,
Uh,
the sun will definitely do it to you.
yeah, I don't know. I go ask Sith Lordly. I think he's even more ageless than I am. I mean,
Sith
I
Lord
don't, I don't,
is
I don't
Dorian Gray.
Yeah, I don't know if Sith is like 45 or like 13. He's somewhere in between.
Yes, Sith is a young looking mofo. Hold up, wait a minute. Whatever you're doing, it's working. I have no idea.
Well, thank
So
you. Yeah.
just to bring it back, confirmed your favorite serial killer was indeed Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah, that's a great answer. I'll go with that. Yeah.
Jeffrey Dahmer, ladies and gentlemen. The champ is in the building. Just wanted to make sure I say what's up to Kenny. Um, Comic Book Fiend Club. I've never
Mhm.
heard of that until you started posting pics, and then you posted some pics on IG with your cut. I was just like, oh shit, this guy's in the Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could you explain to those that aren't initiated what the Comic Book Fiend Club is?
Okay, well, yeah, the Fiend Club, I became a member last year. Um and I had only just found out about it, when I first started getting back into collecting about 2 years ago and kind of started discovering, this whole comic book community that existed. through Instagram and YouTube. First on Instagram, and I had seen these people posting like I'd seen people with like these patches. I was like, oh, those are really cool. It's like the Misfits logo, but it's like Comic Book Fiend Club. And I remember I had messaged a couple people asking, what the deal is with it, and and they told me it's basically like, it is sort of another extension of this community, but it's one where we
you have
have.
to commit felonies.
Yeah, well, maybe some of the other chapters do. I don't know, but there are. So it's broken up into different chapters, right? So I'm in the Canadian chapter. The states have several chapters. The South, the um, East Coast chapter, things like that. There's also an international chapter,
Oh
and it's
wow.
basically just like it's what it sounds like. Like it's a comic book club. So um, obviously with pandemic and all that, it's been since when I first got into it was all just like chatting with people, you know um through Instagram, and we have our club chats and things like that. And then so last year finally, I got to go to a con and actually meet some of my fellow brothers in the chapter, and that was incredible. And that's kind of, it started from that. It started from like the real world where you could actually like meet up with people in person. That's
Mhm.
It did come from that, and like going to conventions together was a big thing. um Also, the club is a big thing the club does, and what got me really interested in it to begin with was they do a lot of things for different charities.
Oh, that's cool.
And there's, whether it's like there's it's not just like, oh, there's like there are many charities, many members within the groups that will also like uh have their own charity things going on that everyone else in the club will try and support. For example, tonight, I'll just shout them out now. My guys, the low grades, they're all in the club, and 10 o'clock tonight, they're doing a charity raffle show for the Polly Jones Foundation, I think it's called. But that's a good example of like those guys are always doing stuff for charity. It's incredible.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
yeah, so that was a big part of it for me wanting to join. And it's really just like it's another kind of extension of the hobby, and it's another way to like meet new people. And everyone that I've talked to has been like really cool. Everyone in the Canadian chapter has been just so welcoming and everything. And you do have to like, it's one of the things, like if you're interested, you got to kind of like pledge yourself. You got to be like, well, why should we let you in? It is a club. It's kind
Mhm.
of like, it's got that motorcycle club kind of setup to it, in that we're not just going to let anybody in. It's like,
So you had
there's
to be
got to
like a
be.
probie for a couple of months before you became a full
Yeah,
club member.
it's just like, they want to make sure that you're not an asshole, basically, right? Like that you're like good people, and that
So how did you get in?
um I have no idea, man. I don't know.
That's insane.
I just said, look, you may have heard rumors of my association with DJ Linx. That's all falsified.
That's true.
But
Yeah, just say that you're on the outs with me, and they'll let you into anything.
yeah. Um,
No, but
but yeah,
that's
so
super
it was
cool.
like, it was like a process of over that first year of just getting to know people in the club, in the Canadian chapter as well as other chapters. And then like, they have like a vote, and I got in. I was like super excited. I was not expecting it at all. So
Oh, so they
it's
have to
been
vote
awesome.
you in? Yes, like just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a motorcycle club. Wow,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
that's
And
crazy.
then
That's
you get the chain whipping once you're in.
nice,
Yeah.
nice. See, I would try to pledge and join just for the chain whipping. Then I would quit after that.
Yeah.
Now, you're from Canada, so you
I
were
am.
born Canadian, but you uh identify as American. How has that transition been for you?
Um, I don't know where you're getting this information from. Can't say I
Chainsaw.
have. Chainsaw. Oh, okay.
Nah,
Yeah,
I
no,
don't know.
never. I'm fully identify as a Canadian.
That
Of Scottish heritage.
Yeah.
yeah.
Blood in, blood out.
And unofficial blood in, blood out. Yeah, and unofficial Italian as well. So
What's unofficial Italian?
I am not an Italian citizen, but my wife is.
Oh,
So
nice.
and I mean, technically, we're not married. I'm not even supposed to call her my wife. So, but what we are basically married. So, but if we actually got married, then maybe I could get my Italian citizenship somehow. I don't know. It's one of those things that would not be easy, but yeah.
That's funny. How did you and your wife meet? And how long have you guys been together? How did you meet? Things like all the personal questions that we don't get to ask Dracula when he's spitting these insane rhymes.
Yeah. So we first met well, first of all, we've been together 21 years now.
And you still ain't put a ring on it, Drac?
I mean, at this point, it's like, I'm not going anywhere. Yeah, no, that was just never, I guess, for us, never really
Yeah,
that
no.
important. But because yeah, so we met. We're like high school sweethearts, but no, we never went to the same high school or anything. We just met through, mutual friends. We would go to so we would both go to like a lot of like punk rock shows and metal shows. We'd see each other at those places and like hanging out drinking in the streets like degenerate teens, and we got to know each other that way, and then that was it. I guess we hit it off.
She fell in love with the Drac. He's in it for the
I'm
ZD.
in it for the ZD. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. How does she feel about because I know the time that you were dressed up in your whole Dracula getup with the makeup and stuff, and it seemed like she was like startled when she walked in. Like I got that just off the expression on your face, and you like, fuck, I wasn't expecting you. How does she feel about the whole YouTube thing? And then specifically because you do something different, you're like in the comedy realm and things like that. Like, how does she feel about the whole thing?
Well, in that particular situation, I don't know how much it was startled as just like, really, you're doing this right now, but no, she's incredibly supportive of it. And even though I know it can be um it's kind of like in the way like we live in a small place, so no matter where I'm doing this, I'm always kind of like in the way somehow, but like no, it's good. Yeah, she's really supportive of it. She does watch my stuff from time to time. I understand she does like comic books, not as much as me, obviously, and she's not really into the whole collecting thing. So but yeah, no, it's good. She likes my videos, so
That's awesome. Yeah, having your like girlfriend or wife or partner, whatever the case is, go on and give you a thumbs down. It's very heartbreaking. I remember my first couple of videos, Mrs. Linx would give me a thumbs down, and she would be like, "Really?" and just walk in the bedroom and close the door and lock it, and I would have to sleep. I would sleep in the hallway in front of the bedroom door like that, just like I fell asleep, just leaned on the door.
Oh
and
yeah.
and that's how I roll. I mentioned your comedy stuff. You're big into comedy. Like what going into the whole YouTube thingy, was that always your like, I guess, entry into it, like taking down a comedy avenue similar to like whack comics and things like that? Was that always your goal?
Yeah, I knew that was always going to be part of it, because how it originally started was with some stuff I had done on Instagram, like some kind of funny posts, as well as like short Instagram videos that had that bent, like that was just, they were meant as jokes. They were like comedy videos. I had this one character, Tommy, over here, who's like this guy from the Bronx, and so I knew when I decided to start a YouTube channel, that was gonna be, because that's just the way I am. Like kind of, normally in my real life, like when I'm hanging out with like my friends, or especially my brother. When I'm with my brother, it's just me and him one upping each other, trying to make each other laugh all the time. So Um, yeah, I knew that was going to be part of it, and especially I'd say one of the kind of biggest, I guess, catalysts for me actually saying I'm gonna actually start this was Whack Comics, and like seeing the kinds of things Lee and Tyler were doing and being like, man, if those two idiots can just be up there ripping up comics and people are watching, I could do that, you know. But no, really, like I loved what they were doing because it was like totally they were like obviously like on the same kind of wavelength that I was feeling. Like it's not just like I'm not just gonna unbox comics, like we can do totally different things with this. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no, and I share your appreciation for Whack Comics. When I first started watching them, it was kind of like, what is this? And then like the second episode, first episode, I was just like, what is this? And then the next one, I was just like, let me just watch this. And then by the third and the fourth one, I was loving it. And then they invited me on, and then I was in love with those dudes, Pauls, ever since. Drag, do you have favorite stand-up comics or comedic actors?
Yeah,
Great question.
absolutely. Yeah. Favorite stand-up comics. I mean,
I
there's
thought
a
you were,
lot.
I thought you were just gonna say yes, absolutely. And then
Yes.
next question.
Next question. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Kenny, for that question. I mean, so many. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing. Like, if I'm not listening to music in my headphones, I'm probably listening to comedy, like either a comedy album or podcasts.
You look like a Jeff
That's always
Foxworthy kind of guy.
absolutely not. No. Favorite stand-ups ever. I mean, I put Dave Chappelle right up at the top.
Genius.
I've seen him live a couple times, just incredible. Uh, uh, yeah, Dave Chappelle. Some of my one of my favorites ever was Mitch Hedberg. That guy was a genius, just king of the one-liners. Um, yeah. Who else? Who else? There's a lot. I really like Neil Hamburger. If you don't know him, check him out.
I prefer
Uh,
Bob Frankfurter.
yeah. I also really like Anthony Jeselnik. He's a
Oh my god, yeah, he's one
I
of my
mean,
favorites.
he's for someone who's intentionally trying to be offensive. Um, he pulls it off every single time. Like he's because you can do that. You know, you could attempt that and just come off super cringy and
Yeah,
being like you're just trying to like make people uncomfortable. But that guy, like, he's a brilliant joke writer. Yeah, I really like that guy. And I'm not offended really by anything. I'm a 40-year-old white guy. What's offending me? You know.
he's
Uh,
Anthony Jeselnik is one of my favorite modern comedians. I love his delivery. I love the dry humor. I love
mhm.
when his jokes, like in one of his stand-ups, he had like this crazy long ass. It was like I don't want to say 20 minutes and be wrong, but about taking his like girl to the abortion clinic or something, and it was just like this whole thing. And that shit was the most hilarious thing
Yeah.
like I've heard in a long time. Carlito says Bill Burr. I saw. It's funny because it was one of those things where I love Norm Macdonald.
Norm Macdonald, yeah, absolutely. He's in
I
my top 5 for sure.
Yeah, I love Norm.
His stand-up stuff is just another superb joke writer. I mean, there was like few as good as Norm. Yeah.
Absolutely. I saw him live in right after, I think it was like Christmas Day, 2019, like right before COVID happened. And he kind of bombed. I saw him in Caroline's in Broadway in Times Square.
Yeah.
But I think it was one of those things where you know how they do the circuit way before they film their special, so it's the same thing over and over and over. So it might have been like one of the earlier shows in that cycle. So it was just like, oh my god, this is like terrible.
There's also plenty of examples and anecdotes of Norm Macdonald fully bombing on purpose. He would go out and do that on purpose, just given, I guess, the crowd or the situation. So yeah, John Mulaney is great. John
That's
Mulaney,
Spider-Ham.
yes.
He's terrible. Get out of here, Switch.
Yeah, I like John Mulaney. I actually had tickets to see him live, and he canceled his Toronto show 3 times 3 times in a row. Every time he said he was coming back, it got canceled for some reason. So I don't know. But yeah, he's really funny. Also, comedic actors, I did want to mention, like, because I'm such a huge inspiration for me as a kid growing up was Monty Python. Like watching the Holy Grail movie over and over again. And Christopher Guest, who was in Spinal Tap. Spinal Tap was always one of my favorite movies, as well as Christopher Guest's mockumentaries like Best in Show and Waiting for Guffman. Those two. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just want to highlight Switch here. And of course, my boy George Lopez. I absolutely love George Lopez's stand-up only because I can relate. It's just like everything that he's saying from Hispanic person perspective. Like I'm like, holy shit, that's my life. Like it's the funniest thing in the world. So
yeah, I can't relate. Sorry.
You for real? You can't relate to your tia with the painted eyebrows and the blonde hair, drunk dancing in the party, talking about tia, put it in the middle. A guy asked if I wanted a frozen banana. I thought no, but I wanted a.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he said about Norm Macdonald where he bombed that the roast of somebody. Like he purposefully like bombed it. Oh, Bob Saget, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. And we lost Norm Macdonald and Bob Saget in such close proximity to each other, which is insane.
Aggressively, yeah, I will absolutely say George Carlin as well. Yeah.
Haven't even seen time. Yeah, George. Yeah, Lopez. Carlin is definitely a classic. Yeah, Lopez is like George Lopez, but then Lopez is funny. Ever ate a taco? Damn it, Remy Q. Why you gotta bring up tacos, bro? So speaking of tacos, so I know the name Actual Dracula and stuff like that. I heard stories about the way you came up with it and all that stuff. What got you into just like Dracula lore? Not how you came up with your name, just like what fascinated you with like that kind of lore.
Oh, yeah, I'd say it really started with Bram Stoker's Dracula, the Francis Ford Coppola movie.
The movie, okay.
Yeah, I love that movie so much. Watched it over and over again. And that's it kind of initially what got me interested in like Dracula as a character. I'd seen Dracula movies before, but they didn't really have the impact that did.
Hello. I'm here to see Count Dracula.
Yeah, not because Keanu.
I am the one.
But yeah, that was it for sure.
This is an 1800s accent. Whoa. Oh my god! I saw that. I saw the Francis Ford Coppola Dracula twice, I think, in my life, and I don't know. The first time I was just die laughing every time Keanu was on screen. Oh my god! It was just like, dude, like nobody told him.
I don't know what he was trying to do in that, but aside from the bad accent, it's still one of my favorite movies.
Whoa! There's a bomb on this Dracula. Oh my god! I had the figures of Dracula in wolf form and in bat form, which were dope. By McFarlane, they put out a box set way back when, and that set was amazing.
Yeah.
Speaking of figures, other than comics, do you collect anything else besides comics?
Nope.
Awesome.
Next question.
No,
I really don't. Like, I got like maybe a few Funko Pops in the house and like a couple of old ass action figures.
Like what?
Other than that,
I like old action figures.
I think I got like my original like a Weapon X action figure. You know, the one that came with the helmet and the tubes.
Yeah.
I lost all those long ago. And I got like a Spawn action figure. It's actually my wife's. Yeah, but no, I all my toys like I'd got rid of so long ago, and wish I hadn't now, of course. And yeah, just like a couple Funko Pops, but I'm not really. I'm kind of limited by it. It really comes down to being limited by.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Are you Bluebeard?
yeah, limited space and money, of course. I mean, like, you know, if money wasn't money and space were an option, I'd love to have like all those you know, statues you got behind you there. But I'm more interested in the comic books, like straight up. Like, I would much rather you know, if I'm gonna buy something comic related, I would just much rather buy the actual comic than like a statue, let's say.
Yeah,
Uh,
this is all green screen.
that yeah. That being said, I am clearing up some space for that Thanos. I'm looking forward to getting that. So
This Thanos, that's the
yeah,
Link Squad March giveaway.
that's the one. Yeah,
And this wasn't even like something in my collection. That, you know, sometimes like, oh, let me just give this away as if it's just sitting here. Nah, I actually bought it. Actually arrived today from China. Like it was delivered today. It was supposed to get delivered this coming Monday, but I don't know. It arrived and DHL dropped it off today. So I was like super excited. I took it out the shipper. It comes in the brown shipper. I didn't even take like the sleeve off or anything. So I'm like super excited for somebody to win that in the Link Squad.
So you don't know if it's actually even in there. They could have just mailed you a brick.
No, it's in there.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, so that's how it's like that. Ah, super. Oh, come on, go down. Ah, damn it.
Yeah. So looking forward to that. Yeah.
Nice.
Right?
I hope someone wins.
Right. Yeah. Me too. I hope someone wins as well.
What's your knowledge of Vlad Trapeze?
Oh, Vlad Tepes?
Yeah.
Vlad
Tepes.
the Impaler.
Vlad the Impaler. Yes.
I know he was real badass. Fighting off the you know, hordes of the Ottoman Empire. No, I mean, dude was completely innocent, you know, just protecting his land and yeah. No, he well, I mean, what is there to say? He did impale a ton of people and did some really awful things, and but all in the name of love, right?
Yeah, I mean, he was
Actually, not at all. It was just he was you know, it you got to think of when at the time when that guy lived, that was just it was brutal for everybody. It was just like that's the way things were. Like you dealt with situations by just cutting people's heads off. So
yeah, and impaling them. He would do
yeah.
damn, what did he so any army that would come, like he would just kill them all and then put them on the spikes. And it was like I forgot what army it was that they went to invade his land and stuff, and they saw that for miles, just people impaled on spikes, and they just turned around and went home. They were like, "Yo, this dude, we not fucking with this dude. Like, yo, come on, man."
It's a little intimidating. Yeah.
Yeah, and then how they would send messengers to deliver messages to him, and then he would wind up killing them and like nailing like hammering the message like on their skull and stuff like that. I got real fascinated with him, and it's funny. It goes back to the serial killer thing. So, I guess in my late teens, I started getting into like I got all these books about like the 100 most evil people that ever lived.
Yeah, I used to take books like that out of the library. Yeah.
Yeah, I was definitely onto something. So like him, Nero, Caligula, Ivan the Terrible, Idi Amin. And it was just like I was just like, you know, taking notes for when I decided to conquer the world one day. Like what was I going to do?
Yeah, I well, I think it's working out so far. Looks like you've made some use of that. Actually, so there's a great comic. I know you're a fan of Maniac of New York.
Yes, sir.
And Andrea Muti illustrated. It's a 3-part story called Vlad Dracula.
Oh,
from Scout Comics, I believe. That's actually a really good, just kind of story on about Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah, and he was the basis for Dracula. So he was the inspiration behind Dracula, which was awesome. But even though the whole him drinking people's blood was a myth. So, Drac, let's transition obviously to hip hop. You have been on the Epic Rap Battle a bunch of times, and every time you are on, I feel like it is a treat for everyone watching. Definitely one of the hardest dudes to judge because you do your thing, man. What got you into hip hop? Like, what were from some of your earliest hip hop memories and stuff like that?
Yeah, earliest. Oh, I just want to circle back to Mark's question. Yes, I do.
Oh yeah.
I have. I'm actually currently watching it right now because they just added it to Disney. It's yeah, that's a fantastic show. But so earliest like hip hop, like yeah, I've been listening to it basically my whole life. And I remember the first stuff I ever listened to. I remember I had cassette tapes of the Fat Boys, right?
Oh.
Yeah, and DJ Jazzy, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Remember they had like that Nightmare on My Street
Yeah,
song,
yeah, the Freddy
and
Krueger thing.
yeah, yeah, and so stuff like that. And then you know, I remember I was in like grade 7 or 8, and my friend, this kid Aubrey, comes over to my house. He's like, yo, you guys got to hear this, this is incredible. And he put it on, and it was Wu-Tang 36 Chambers, and I
Oof.
was just like, that is, dude, that's insane.
I thought you was gonna say my friend Aubrey, and then you would say it was Dream.
Yeah, no,
That's what I was waiting for.
just, you know,
What?
yeah, no,
Stick him.
so
Stick him. Yeah, I legit. That's
yeah.
what I thought you was gonna say.
Yeah, no, so yeah, Wu-Tang, you know, that was like that was kind of life changing in terms of like that's what really got me into hip hop, hearing that. And then like next year I was at high school, everyone was talking about Liquid Swords and Cuban Links, and yeah, that's so from there it just became, you know, then I was like discovering all different things, you know, as I went along.
I think Cuban Links is probably the best produced hip hop album of all time.
Yeah, absolutely, it could be. Yeah, yeah, I might have to agree with you there. Definitely, in my top 10 albums, for
What are
sure.
your top 10 albums? Any genre. Actually, let's just stick to hip hop. Like, what are the in no particular order? Just off the top of
Yeah,
your head.
I don't know. I don't know if I can go by albums, right? Especially now, especially with how I consume music. It's like I don't always just listen to an album all the way through. But
Yeah, I stopped listening to albums all the way through unless I'm gonna listen to like Cuban Links or like the other day I listened to Reasonable Doubt, but mostly I'm doing playlists.
yeah, exactly, right. I could tell you like some of my favorite MCs and like
Yeah, that's what architectural foam panels and columns and
yeah,
rebar top
yeah,
five MCs.
top 5. That's always, yeah, that one's always difficult like to get the top 5, but I know some that are definite contenders. I mean,
No,
I got to go Biggie first of all. I remember when I first heard
Biggie Shack.
uh yeah, Biggie Shack. No, Biggie Smalls. I remember like when I first heard him, it was like his big singles like Hypnotize and like
Yeah,
Juicy, and I was like, I don't really get it. But then I heard stuff like Gimme the Loot, and I was like, when he goes hard, it was just like that. Yeah, incredible, right?
yeah, dude. I remember that Ready to Die album. I loved it from the moment I heard it. I remember him from. I love Party and Bullshit because for some reason I love the House of Pain, so I bought the Who's the Man soundtrack just for
Yeah,
the Who's the Man song, and then he had Party and Bullshit on it. When Ready to Die dropped, I burnt that shit out like crazy. I remember lending it to my boy, and he gave it back the next day. He was like, "Yo, this is too hard for me." I was like, "Punk, you punk, you
yeah,
punk."
what a punk.
Yo,
Yeah,
give me the loot, suicidal thoughts, all that,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Give me the loot, give me the loot. Ah, my bad.
So yeah, Biggie, Ghostface, definitely.
I absolutely love Ghostface Killer, man.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely put him in my top 5.
I got a chance to see him too a couple of years ago.
Mhm.
Uh it was in June, which is funny. So we got to see Wu-Tang Clan at Coney Island. And it was a good show. All the clan was there, obviously with not the ODB. And then I got to see Ghost So it was supposed to be a Ghostface show, but then he wound up bringing out Chic from the Locks. So it was that's when their album came out or whatever. And I was like, this is the stage. I was like leaning on the stage, like I was like a little bitch. I was like, no, I love Ghostface, man. That shit took me back.
Yeah.
It took me back to '95, man. I was like, yeah, I was so hyped. It wasn't even funny.
Yeah, and I don't think I'd put Raekwon in my top 5, but Cuban Linx absolutely is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, but Ghostface, and then I would say Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne in his prime for me was like huge. You know, Carter 2, Carter 3, all those like the dedication mixtapes. The dude was just crazy. Like he was like, you know, king of the one-liners. He just spit some crazy shit and like he was definitely an inspiration for me and some of the stuff that I wrote because Wayne would write some really ridiculous stuff like some really great metaphors as well. So yeah, I gotta say Lil Wayne.
I'll disagree with you there, but
Okay. I mean I don't think he's what he used to be, but you know, back when I first got into Lil Wayne, he was yeah, really liked him.
That's one of those things as the definitely as like a jaded New Yorker.
Mm-hmm.
I probably never given Lil Wayne a chance like that. Like I got into him around the Carter 3, so I thought the Carter 3 was really really good. The other stuff, I'll be honest, I never given it a fair shake just because like the sound wasn't really for me.
Yeah, like the production on the Carter 2 isn't great, but his lyrics are phenomenal on that album.
Yeah, I need my boom bap. Yeah, so that it's just one of those things for me where it's just hard to. It's like a comic book, right? So if like the art is terrible or the writing is terrible, like you're not the story. I don't know. It's just one of those things. Like they need to mesh. The same thing with like a beat and like lyrics. So if your beat is whack,
yeah,
you can say that the fly is shit, but it's like it's gonna be hard to consume.
Well, that's why I always loved Tribe Called Quest because they had the whole package, like the beats, the rhymes. It was just perfect. Huge Tribe fan.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Tribe was way ahead of their time. Even like that in 91, 92, they were way ahead of their time.
Yeah, I can hear that now. I hear that in my head right now.
Yeah, Carter 3 was definitely really really good. And that's what made Wayne a superstar.
It was, yeah. A Millie was huge. Dude, that song, I can listen to a Millie any time of the day.
A millionaire, I'm a young money millionaire, tougher than Nigerian hair.
Yeah. That's the other thing. Like when people say they don't like Lil Wayne, I get it because like maybe you're not into his voice. I guess it could be grating for some people. I personally like it, but it's not for everyone. And then I also gotta go.
Hold on, not to cut you off because you made a great point about the voices stuff. So I know Kendrick Lamar is super talented. I cannot get into Kendrick Lamar because of the voice stuff. It completely turns me off.
I get that too. Again, I might put Kendrick in my top 5 as well. He's definitely a contender for it.
Of all time?
I'm just saying in terms of what I listen to now.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, to do an all-time list, I can't even do that. Who I would put in all-time is MF Doom. MF Doom, without a doubt, deserves to be there for me. I just thought he was just on another level with his lyricism, and there was nobody else like him. Nobody else like Doom.
So when Doom passed, how did that impact you?
Yeah, I was sad. It was he was such an enormous talent, and he was still like right up until then still writing and still putting out material, and you know, not at the maybe not at the like level he had been before, but like still an incredible rapper right up until he died. So I was fortunate enough to have seen him live once several years back. he went on tour. It was a crazy show because he had gone on tour with Mos Def.
Mm-hmm.
And when he came to Toronto, my friend Decisive was opening for them. This is going to be the biggest show he ever did. And so got to the show, Decisive did his opening set, stood around for like an hour, and then it turned out, after standing around, it turned out Mos Def had left the tour because he got tired of, I guess, Doom's shenanigans, where apparently at some shows it wasn't even him on stage, it was some other dude in a mask, right? Which he's been accused of before, and who knows, maybe, you know, that's true. I have no doubt he probably did it at some point.
Andy Warhol used to do that, right?
Probably, that sounds about right. Anyways, Doom finally shows up on stage.
I'm sorry, that was super random.
He finally shows up on stage like 2 hours late, and starts rapping, and then everyone's like getting into it, and then all of a sudden a second Doom comes out on stage, and that was the real Doom. So he was like playing with that whole fake Doom thing, but when the real guy came out, I was just like, that was one of the best shows I've ever seen, just because like his music meant so much to me. It still does.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's like some historic shit. As far as like historic like concert and things, I guess it was a big deal back then. But obviously with the Jay-Z and Nas beef back in whatever 2001, I was at the concert where Jay-Z brought Nas out on stage.
Right.
Yeah, in Jersey. So that was pretty doom. I mean, pretty doom. Wow, because I was reading this. No, it was pretty dope.
Yeah.
He brought him out, and he was like, whatever. And I don't know. It was like, okay, this is cool. And then that wore off pretty quickly after that. Yeah, but I definitely gotta get into Doom. But that Vanilla Ice guy,
yeah, Vanilla Ice, sure.
Yo, right. Stop, collaborate, and listen. Ice is back. It's his first single, but yeah, he's back with a brand new invention. Yeah. Crazy.
Ahead of his time.
Super ahead of time. Hey, look who it is. It's Tyler. Yeah, man. I don't know. It's funny because everybody picks up on my new Jada New Yorkness. Kenny was like taking a jab at me about the Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's how I was raised. I was raised like that, and that's the same thing with books. I was raised like, you can only get Marvel. Don't you ever get DC? And I was like, okay. And for better or worse, I do, however, enjoy the Southern stripper music. Like, yeah, that I could get down with it. And then club
like
stuff.
Like the Houston club stuff.
Like the Houston club stuff, Atlanta like club stuff. There's a couple of I don't know, like David Banner. Oh my god. And then we're talking about South stuff. For me, David Banner is like, I love David Banner. My bad. I don't know why I didn't think that. He has a song on his, I don't know if it's his last album or the one before it, with Black Thought and somebody else that's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. I always like 3-6 Mafia for sure.
Yeah, that wasn't the meh. To the Club Up was a joint though.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, the Club Up was indeed the joint. So did you decide on who was your favorite serial killer?
What did I say? Lil Wayne, was it?
Lil Wayne, yeah.
No,
I'm just kidding, dude.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I think I said Dahmer because, you know.
You did say Dahmer. Do you know who's the most prolific serial killer in the United States?
No, I'm not sure.
No one does. So it was a gentleman named Samuel Little. So I think he passed away in jail in like 2019. 93 murders.
Yeah, and that's he's no slouch, right? That's...
if you're gonna go full tilt. Yeah. Samuel Little. Anyway, what else we got going on over here? What books are you reading right now? Oh, my bad. We were talking about the hip hop. I totally forgot to ask you. So about like your whole writing style when you go into one of these battles and stuff. Like, what's your approach to it? Like, do you have any like techniques, or like what's your whole approach to the battle? Like how do you do it?
Yeah, so it really starts out with Jesus. That's good. It kind of just starts out with like me coming up with
This is basically
yeah,
this.
this is
I'm gonna retitle this In the Mix. Do you know about the serial killer?
yeah.
Samuel Little, followed by the Grim Sleeper.
Yeah. Just for the record, I did not bring up serial killers. That was all him.
That is true. That is true.
I don't know. It's kind of as I've gotten more and more used to it. Actually, I don't think my writing technique has changed all that much. It usually just does start with me kind of something will randomly pop into my head, and I'll write it down. Like I have notes on my phone where I put all my sort of random bars or even just words and words I think will work together.
Yeah.
And like shape those into say a bar, and then once I have some of those, I kind of try and stitch them together in something that is somewhat comprehensive. Sometimes I'll I don't know, I think like sometimes subconsciously I'm putting a big chunks of a verse together without even realizing it. It isn't until after I've come up with some things that I see like a thread through it, like a theme, which that's been like one of the craziest things for me. Is like I'll do something and then I'll realize, oh shit, that really like works well with that, and then I can build upon that as well. Some of my favorite things that I did just personally was like having like I forget which one it was, but I had worked in the Ninja Turtles in some way into the verse, but without directly referencing the Ninja Turtles. I was just kind of clandestinely mentioning them. Yeah.
Ooh,
and
clandestinely. Oh shit.
yeah, like a ninja, right?
Oh my god, big word Drac.
Yeah.
So I think that was the same verse where you did the whole Inception scheme.
Yeah, it might have been the
That
same one.
that was really fire for me. One of my favorite things that you did, because you do a lot of like deep stuff, and your vocabulary I think is one of the best. Your vocabulary is top notch. It was the one, obviously we all like laugh about the shark wave and stuff. I thought that was amazing, but it was just like even up like the ark in a dark cave, whatever. But I'm the gift that God gave. Like that whole piece.
Right.
Like, obviously, I still remember it. Like to some way, I thought that was phenomenal, and that was, I think, like one of your first battles.
It was one of the first. It might have been my second one, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever like what in your rhyme, like you look at it and when you practice and all that stuff, do you ever go like, oh shit, like this is amazing?
Yeah, but here's the thing. It's really only bits and pieces I get to do that, because a lot of times I'm working right up until that moment of the battle, because I will, for whatever reason, I've come up with some of my best ideas literally right before the battle. They'll just be like, I'll have stuff that I'd been kind of picking away at. And then like that day I'll think of things and I'll be like, oh, that's even better. So it doesn't give me much time in way of practicing. When you hear me spit the verse, that is the first time I am doing it all at once. That is the first time it's coming out of my mouth or even into my head all at once most of the time, because I'm usually making a bunch of last minute changes, and I kind of just kind of read it and like make sure it works, make sure I can actually get the words out and that they will sound okay, you know. That's been the most difficult thing, because sometimes I don't know what it's going to sound like until I'm actually there and doing it.
That's
but
crazy.
I think after having done it enough times now, like with the last battle, there was definitely some last minute stuff in there, but I felt confident like that it was going to work out, even though I hadn't really practiced it.
Yeah, no,
like I said, I had practiced sections of it, and you know, I was like those, but it also, like, if you go to the last battle, and I think for the most part, like I'll start a little slow, but as I get into it, I kind of feel the flow of it a bit more.
Yeah, you get into a rhythm. Architectural. Where do these battles happen? Every last Friday of the month. You could go back on this channel. You can go back and check the last one. The last one was definitely by far my favorite. From everybody, I think like Kenny's stuff was mind blowing as always. But I'm like, and it's funny because I watch it back and I'm like, I'm the one that fucks it up for everybody because I'm like giggling like and shit. Like I need to mute my mic because I'm like, because it's like the punches are hitting, your shit is hitting. Steve's shit was like crazy with his flow and all that stuff.
Steve is so good, man. Like I battled that guy twice now, and I absolutely love like all his bars. He's incredible. And going into that
I'm no slouch.
No, dude, you're amazing. Like that was I'm so glad that you decided to take part in it as well, because like you're absolutely one of the highlights of the show.
Yeah, like I worked on that. Like I was just like, oh man, like,
I can tell.
And it's I'm waiting for Kenny's bar breakdown. I know Kenny's working like a madman. But I took my time on that. Like everything that's said, it has a purpose. Like there's like no filler, and it's like my longest stuff. What's your favorite? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like I spend a lot of time working on mine as well, because like it's hard to like come like, just because of the way I write, is like those random ideas, they're not just, it's not going to work if I just say this random line. Like I do what I can to like kind of weave kind of a story out of it, I suppose, or do what I can to make everything kind of flow together well.
Yeah, and I think that's what you have to do, because you have experience like watching you watch like the King of the Dot battles and URL battles and stuff like that.
And like when I was younger, I was really into poetry as well. Like we were saying backstage, I used to read a lot. Like my teens, early 20s, I was constantly reading, all kinds of stuff. And poetry for a while. I was really, reading a lot of poetry, and that, so and writing a bit of bad poetry as well. So having that, this is the most I've like physically written. Like, I used to write stuff down, just like random stuff, all the time, and this is the most I've like written like from my head onto a page in years. So it's been like, that's why I've enjoyed it so much, just being creative in that way.
That's awesome. I used to be write poetry as well. I remember I was published in like this book in high school. So and then I was like honored is the wrong word, but I was at like this big office building in the publisher's thing, and they gave me some award and all that stuff. And I couldn't afford to buy the book. Oh, no. So I don't even have the book that I'm published in.
That is the saddest thing I've ever heard.
That is right. What was Samuel Little, America's most prolific serial killer, think about?
I did want to say one more thing about the rap battle, which was
yes, sir,
the last one. So I faced the champ Kenny. Going into that, I went back, I listened to all of Kenny's verses, and I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna beat this guy, I have to bring. Yeah, it's all written. I got to bring my A game. I was like, Kenny's just straight up solid rapper. He's really good. His verses and writing's incredible. So going into it, I was just like, you know what? I might not really have a chance. I'll at least have like a puncher's chance, like maybe Kenny will slip up or something. But then when he came with his verse, I was like, no, I'm done. That's it. Forget it. Because I think that was his best verse so far. Like there's a reason he's the champ. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll ever be taken down, but I think if anyone can do it, you got a pretty good shot. So we'll see.
What's your favorite like rap battle, like real life rap battle, not like on our show? Do you have like a favorite?
I mean, there's off the top of my head, I can't think of any, but I used to spend quite a bit of time watching those. The one that comes to mind, maybe not my favorite, but certainly the most memorable, was Disaster versus Cannabis.
That's That was it was literally a disaster.
It was just so painful to see cannabis, because I used to be a big cannabis fan as well.
Of course,
and, like,
cannabis. Oh my god, yeah.
See him do that, break out the notepad. It was like, dude, that's something I would do. Don't do that. You're better than me. Like,
he took the notepad out of his cast.
Yeah, like, I know. But his disaster, love him or hate him, that guy's talent is enormous. Like, the shit that he was spitting right back at cannabis about, like, not being a shoulder to lean on with his cast is just like that. It's just like he really got right to the point. And so yeah, that was a great battle. It really was. Definitely the most memorable.
Yeah. No, I was
a one-sided battle.
Definitely a one-sided battle. I was a big Disaster fan back in the day, and cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Yeah, yeah.
But one of my favorites is definitely Loaded Lux versus Calico.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
Yeah, his third verse. This is where this is from.
He gonna get this work. He gonna get this work. Look at me, King. Look at me.
That was the most disrespectful, but it wasn't even like in a disrespectful I'm gonna murder you way. It was like he was talking to him, schooling him, because it was like his father was a gangster and his father went to jail. So he's basically being like, your father left you in the streets, and your father was a bum, and look at the way you are because of that. And the system keeps perpetuating these ideas of a young black male, and you're just feeding into that whole stereotype. So that was the entire last verse. And it was just so like, this is, I think, what put URL on the map. And at that event, like Busta Rhymes was there, Diddy, and throughout the whole thing, you just hear Busta Rhymes, because you know his voice and stuff. He's just like, God damn!
Yeah.
from the crowd. I highly recommend you watching that, dude. Like, it is like super, super disrespectful. Senor Dracula, we're past the hour mark. Usually we only go an hour, so if there's I don't want to just cut you off and say, hey, we need to wrap up.
But we need to do that. Is what you're saying.
We don't need to do that, but yeah, we're at the hour mark. Is there anything that you'd like to say, or that you'd like to ask me, or that any parting wisdom you'd like to bestow upon our viewing audience?
No. 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 Well, like, first of all, just thank you so much for the epic rap battles. I mean, dude, when I started this thing, I had no idea I would end up being part of that, and now having been like a mainstay of it, like been on multiple episodes, so that's been an incredible experience. Like, easily one of my favorite of like starting a YouTube channel was getting to take part in that. Because
no, thank you. And that's when everyone says about, oh, DJ Linx, you do these epic rap battles, blah blah blah. When it is a team effort. Like, it is a team effort. I don't want to. It's on my channel, and I host it, but it is like, you guys are putting in so much effort, so much work, and it's weeks of work. Like, it's not just like, take an hour here and then you whatever. It's weeks of work, and I am truly grateful that you guys are involved. You guys love it. Because of you guys, like, we were nominated for a CBC award. Thank you, Dracula. Look, boom, look, I'm doing that. I am not worthy, sir. I am not worthy. But no, thank you. That's it.
Yeah, did you do that because you saw the impaled people on my lawn? And
that was funny. I did go to visit you in Canada, and as I was walking on your block, I saw some people spiked on your block. Is that what you call them in Canada? Blocks? Like, yo, I live on this block?
Yeah, we have blocks. Blocks of ice.
Blocks of ice.
Yeah, no, those were just hockey sticks stuck in the snow.
Wow, that's
with tomato plants growing on them, because all the Italian neighbors, they use the hockey sticks to type of tomato plants. So
Okay, that's not racist.
it's not. It's just the truth.
Jesus, Jesus Christ. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, we wanted to. You got anything coming up on your channel?
Yeah. So I got
Hold on, I'm cutting
what's
you
up?
off. Street
Anthony
Side
in the
Anthony's
house.
in the building.
Always good to see Anthony.
Nicest guy in the world.
Yep. Yeah.
In the world. Love me some Street Side Anthony.
Yeah, I can't wait to meet him in person someday and go to one of his sales because I'm hoping I don't know, maybe sometime this year, maybe next year, we'll see.
Come
See
to
what
New York?
Yeah, I'd like to. Absolutely.
Hell yeah, man. That's definitely one of my highlights, Street Side Anthony. I might see him. I think he's gonna be at they do this thing. I don't know if it's monthly or bi-monthly called the Queen's Comic Party, and
Right.
he was set up. They had it in December. I think it was the same time as C2E2, but I went to I think the one in November and met up with Anthony. We kicked it for a little bit. Legit the nicest guy in the world. But I'm sorry. Yo, if you come to New York, man, just let me know what week you're coming down so I can schedule my vacation to Canada at the same time. We'll just swap apartments.
All right. That's good. Yeah. I mean, if you want to do it that way, sure.
Yeah. I
So
always
I stay at your place, you stay at my place? Is that how that works?
Yeah, let's just swap.
Just a wife swap? Is that what
Not a wife swap, a fucking apartment swap. What's wrong with you, you pervert? Jesus Christ.
I don't know.
This right.
Is
You collect
idea.
women.
That's right.
Yo, it's full circle. You know who collected women? Samuel Little.
Yeah, that's right.
Serial killer.
Only the top serial killers. Not Dahmer though. He did not collect women.
He did not. He did not.
He liked the boy parts.
That Jeffrey Dahmer.
But,
Jeffrey Dahmer. You heard the story about the guy that got away, right?
Yeah.
That is insane. And then the cops brought him back.
Almost
got away. Yeah, and then the cops brought him back. And Jeffrey Dahmer was just like, "Oh, this is my boyfriend. He's just acting crazy. I'm gonna eat your dick." That's what he said. That was a quote. It was in the biography of Jeffrey Dahmer.
What was I saying before? Oh yeah, you asked me what I have coming up on my channel, and
then I saw Street Side Anthony. I just got like super hype.
Yeah. So every Wednesday I do comic picks in the 4 and 6 with my guy Comic Ozzy, where we show off our new comic book day and back issue pickups. And then I do Casual Dracula, which I was doing weekly for a while there, but I am now it's gonna be kind of every other week or whenever I do it. We'll see. I'd like to get it back to a weekly schedule at some point. It's just those shows I don't like to rush them. I like, first of all, like scheduling guests can be difficult for that, and also every guest, like I kind of like I'm getting to this point where I want Casual Dracula to be. I'm always like kind of tweaking it. I never know exactly what it's want to be, but I kind of change every show depending on who the guest is. So, I want to make. I'm really kind of. I don't want to say streamlining it because I like when it's like a bit chaotic, but you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to see what I can changes I can make to that show to make it a bit better, I think.
No, definitely. I think even the most like chaotic shows, there's always planning and prep that goes that goes into it.
Yeah, there's always planning, even if it doesn't look like it. And then on I think I'm going to be doing it Sunday. I'm going to do a live I got like a unboxing video. I got some gonna do like an epic unboxing video. I got a few packages. I got some exclusive stuff. I got some grails. I got a couple of Marvel grails I'm opening. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
What?
Yeah.
What? Can we get a hint?
No, I think maybe just tune in and check out and see what it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you're all subbed up to Actual Dracula. He said when he passes the 400 subscriber mark, he was going to give away that metal cover of Cult of Dracula that he has sitting behind him.
Did I say that? I didn't say that.
Oh, I thought you said that.
No.
You're supposed to say I didn't say that after you reach the 400 subs.
This is not the metal one. This is the regular one.
Oh,
Yep.
oh my God, that's lovely.
Yeah.
So which one are you giving away?
I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
No, it's funny you mentioned that though, because I'm not at 400 yet, so I'm not even going to discuss that. But I will be having a 500 subscriber giveaway if I get to that point, guys. Just saying, you might see this in there. I don't know. Got to get me to 500 to find out. But
that is awesome. Definitely, when you get to 500, I will. I'm going on record as saying it now. I am giving away something on your channel, sir.
Thank you. That's very generous.
It might be one of my 10 most evil people books.
Yeah, it's gonna be your, what is it, John Little? What was his name?
Samuel Little.
Samuel Little autograph. There,
the life and times. Yeah. You know what's funny? Because Samuel Little did autograph a few items, but it was with a hand that he cut off, and he was holding the hand by a piece of the wrist, and he put a pen in it, so it was just like he was holding it and he was autographing like that. But it wasn't his actual hand.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe Jeffrey Dahmer signed some things, but then he accidentally ate them. He was supposed to put them up on eBay, and he was like, "Oh, that was the wrong one." Okay.
Yeah. Oh man, that damn Jeffrey Dahmer. Well, anyway, Actual Dracula, thank you for coming on the show. You're always welcome, sir. You are my guy, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna peace out, ladies and gentlemen. And as always, most importantly, we spread love, because that's the Canada way.
That's right.
Let's go.